Grizzly Flat is burning, and it's not good.
The Caldor fire exploding in size, scorching nearly 23,000 acres in just 24 hours with no containment.
The governor declaring a state of emergency here as the Caldor fire is burning in this rugged terrain. You see those trees so close together. This is a hot, dense forest, and firefighters are having a hard time getting the upper hand.
Smoke from the fire turning afternoon skies red and dark in neighboring Nevada. Streetlights on to help guide drivers.
You see the embers flying into the air? The winds are heavy and they're shooting spot fires some 2, even 5 miles ahead. And here's an example of where this fire crossed the road and went straight up this hill.
Rugged terrain, whipping winds, and heavy smoke making it hard for firefighters to get the upper hand. Dozens of homes burned to the ground. Cars and pickups completely destroyed. Just a few structures, smoldering land, and simmering propane tanks are all that remain. Some residents fleeing with what they could carry.
People are panicking,
Making their way through flying embers, hoping they might have something to come back to.
The Taliban leadership have now returned to the country, but there's a sense of darkness and sadness that's settled on Kabul, even though some life is starting to return to the streets. But down near the airport, just down the road where the evacuations are taking place, total chaos. As the Taliban consolidates control of Afghanistan, as many as 11,000 Americans and tens of thousands of Afghans still desperately trying to leave the country. So far, the US able to evacuate 3,200 people from Afghanistan, including all US embassy personnel, bar a core group of diplomats. For those Americans still in the country, a safe exit from the airport guaranteed, but the journey there has to be attempted at their own risk.
Their safety needs to be their top priority. If they feel that it is unsafe for them to make their way to the airport, they should not seek to do so.
The US planning to launch 1 flight per hour, getting up to 9,000 people out each day. To access those evacuation flights and the US checkpoint on the military side of the airport, those trying to leave the country must first pass through Taliban-controlled civilian areas, the runway dividing the two. But for now, the Taliban only letting foreigners through. In their first press conference since seizing power, the Taliban promising amnesty for all those who've worked with American and NATO forces, vowing not to hunt them down or seek retribution.
We are assuring the safety of all those who have worked with the United States and allied forces.
Wary of promises from the Taliban, hundreds of thousands of Afghan women and girls are now sheltering in their homes. Nasreen Nawar was able to get out of the country just in time, but her family is still on the ground in Afghanistan.
It's heartbreaking. So many people are stuck in the country and they have no way out.